Canada Post says it's going to send new offers to the Canadian Union of Postal Workers in order to move talks forward. This labour conflict's been going on for 2 years now. You'll remember the union representing postal workers imposed a ban on flyer deliveries that started Monday. We're joined by Jim Gallant, a negotiator at the union. Jim, thanks very much. So give us the update now. What are you guys in Canada Post trying to achieve here? Obviously a new contract.
Yeah, you say we've been bargaining for 2 years, and we say we've been bargaining too long. That's where we're at. This Canada Post was saying that things were urgent back when people were voting on a contract that they were trying to impose on people, and now there's been crickets since the 1st of August. And we make this change from overtime to a flyer ban. And now we're hearing from the corporation, but they say that they're going to wait a week before they drop these offers. And we can't understand why. They've had since August the 1st. They knew that employees had rejected their what they were selling, and we're wondering why it would take them another week to drop these offers.
Obviously, both sides, you'd like to get this resolved before the holiday, the big season.
Yeah, absolutely. The fourth quarter for Canada Post and for a lot of businesses, the Christmas period comes up, and there's a lot of parcels being shipped and a lot of mail being put out and a lot of flyers for sales and things like that. Mm-hmm. And in most years, the first 3 quarters show either a small bit of money that they've made, or show a loss a lot of times in those quarters, and it's the fourth quarter that makes everything for the business of the service.
What's your biggest demand from Canada Post? What's the biggest area of difference?
Well, they really, up until now, they've really pushed around a lot of part-time employees and part-time the workout instead of permanent full-time jobs. There's all kinds of innuendo around jobs for life and things like that. It's just not true. The number of jobs at the post office have dropped over the years. There used to be 60,000 people in the bargaining units, and now it's down. It's somewhere around 50,000 now. It's even dropped thousands since last year. They're not filling positions as people retire, and it shows because during our overtime ban, they weren't delivering routes. People were not getting their daily and sometimes weekly delivery.
Obviously, you're under pressure. This is a challenge business model, Canada Post. I know you guys have advocated in the past that post office could broaden into other services, but in the near term, it looks like the Crown Corp itself under severe financial pressure.
Well, on January the 13th of this year, Canada Post finally put up the postage rates. And there's a number of reasons why that didn't happen. And it's mostly because management didn't ask the government to increase postage rates. And it was for a decade, we were way behind. And this year, the price of a stamp on a letter went up 25 cents. We've seen that actually volumes have increased in letters this year. And those first 2 quarters of the year have shown that extra 25 cents has infused, along with, I guess, any other raise in postage on parcels. But there's been an increased revenue of about $370 million in the first half of the year. So they were looking for another $1 billion of revenue, and it looks like it's happened. But because the fourth quarter will be the biggest quarter, the first 2 aren't, and I guess the problem gets to be is that's the increased revenue with everything that's hanging over Canada Post right now, with the government not putting us, not allowing us to duke this out between us. and the pauses, and it's 2 years of bargaining, and it's got to be done. We need this done, and we need it done before the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter is upon us. October 1st it starts, so we're really pushing, and we've changed our tact, and obviously us banning flyers this week has done something, because Canada Post is saying they're coming back to the table, and we'll, when it happens, we'll believe it. And the government has reached out to us to meet as well.
Am I right in thinking that actually, I might have got mixed up, you would like to see, I mean, there's been advocates of the post office who said, well, it should get into personal savings accounts like we see in Britain, for example. Would you like to see the post office diversify into areas like that?
Yeah, we think that services in the community are things that need to happen, and obviously there's lobbyists that think we should stay out of it, and many of the government MPs are in that boat. They think that Canada Post should stay with the mail. But Canada Post is diversifying, and you see at some points you see it. There have been some My Money accounts, they're called, and there's been credit cards that the post office backs and things like that. And it's not we're not asking for Canada Post to be one of the big 4 or 5 banks. We're saying that there's people that are underbanked and not banked at all in Canada, in small communities where banks are closing, and there's a post office. There's 4 walls. There's bricks and mortar, and we can fill that gap. And Canada Post has hired a whole bunch of people to do some of that work.
No,
but they don't tell everybody out loud.
So they are exploring offering more financial services?
Sure they are, but they don't say it out loud, and they won't make it part of bargaining. And we're just trying to push them on those issues to make sure that they happen, and that our union is well taken care of when it happens.
I guess it's tough though, isn't it? I mean, when I go around Toronto lately, I've been seeing a lot of FedEx trucks. I don't think I've been seeing as many Canada Post delivery trucks. So you're up against big private businesses too.
That's right, and the government talks about elbows up and buy Canadian. Well, FedEx, your money's not staying in Canada, and we have 50,000 members, somewhere around 50,000 members, and those 50,000 members are members of their community, and they pay taxes, and our tax bill, the amount of tax we pay in, is over $1 billion a year. So, the government should be looking at Canada Post as that entity. And I have no idea why the federal government would ever have a parcel in FedEx.
Thank you very much, Jim. I really appreciate it. That is Jim Gallant, a negotiator at the Canadian Union of Postal Workers.